Merry Yule, everybody! It's Bella Rosa here for another episode of My Pagan Pal Crafts and Such, the channel where you can find pagan-related crafts and such. And as you can tell by the tower of boxes, I'm getting ready to move in January, but hey, the show must still go on, and there's still time before Yule to show you one more DIY Yule Gets idea. We're making our own goddess cookie cutters, so check it out.
For the first part of this project, you will need a pair of needle nose pliers and aluminum stripping. I ordered mine on eBay, but don't fret, you can use a large pre-existing cookie cutter. Just straighten it out. Additional supplies are listed below. I freehanded a design and it measured 5 by 3, which will make a decent sized cookie. The stripping came with double-sided adhesive tape, but you can use regular tape. This stuff is pretty flexible and easy to work with. Start on a flat side of your drawing so that when you come around to complete the cutter, it will be easier to tape the ends together. Follow your pattern using your hands and needle nose pliers to shape the cutter. Sharp bends with the pliers will produce sharper edges. Be sure to double check your work and make sure you're staying within the frame of the layout. If you make a mistake, no worries, just flatten out the part you want to fix and try again. However, don't do this too many times or you may weaken the stripping too much and ruin your overall design. When you're done, leave about 1 inch of overlap, cut it with a pair of scissors and tape the ends together. For the second part of this project, we're putting together a gingerbread cookie in a jar recipe. I took some Holliday scrapbook paper and red construction paper, glued them together, and then used an index card to write out the instructions. For extra appeal, I rolled up the instructions like a scroll using my glue stick as a guide and then tied it off with some fun holiday green ribbon. Next, you'll need a 34-ounce mason jar to house the ingredients. The recipe is listed below and calls for a layered assembly of ingredients. For the first layer, I used 1 1/2 cup of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I sifted them all together in a bowl and then used a spoon to place the mixture into the mason jar. For the second layer, I measured out 1 cup of brown sugar and then loosened up the granules in my bowl before adding them to my jar, making sure to evenly distribute the sugar. For the final layer, I used another 1 1/2 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of ginger, and 1 teaspoon each of cinnamon, clove, and allspice. When I sifted them together, they turned a slightly darker shade, which just adds some interest to the overall look of the jar. To wrap it all up, I tied a red ribbon to the goddess cookie cutter and then attached it to the jar just by twisting the lid on to hold the ribbon in place. I added a big red bow plus my scroll that I stuck onto the side of my jar with tape, and finally I attached a label to bring it all together for all those kitchen witches out there that love baking for the holidays.
What are your plans for Yule? Let me know. Leave a comment in the box below. And if you like what you saw here today and you want to be kept up to date on the latest episodes, then what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, like up this video, and I'll see you next time for another episode of My Pagan Pal Crafts and Such. Bye!